And I like what you've said is, I can't remember the term you just used, but like the trust-based influence where,
Trust-based influence.
yeah, it is being honest, but it's probably being honest in a way where you're not letting your emotions get the better of you
Yep.
because they shouldn't be getting the better of you, which is kind of it's almost like two opposites working. But yes,
Yeah.
it's an interesting sort of distinction, and that was kind of leading me on to, because I was, I think some people think negotiation and influence is manipulation, and how would you separate the two in terms of what you do, which is this trust based influence, and actually trying to manipulate somebody for your own gains, which I guess could be tempting when you're trying to deal with a terrorist that's going to kill people.
Well, and the very last thing you said is a real critical distinction when you said for your own gains. So these influence tools are just tools. What they're being used for, am I using it at your expense? That's manipulation. Am I using it so we both prosper? That's influence. For example, we say lying is bad, and I believe lying is bad. However, if I say, look, you and I are going to dinner. On a way to dinner, we got to stop by my house. I got something I want to pick up. Why don't you come inside with me for just a second? And then we're going to dinner. We step in the front door and 70 people jump out and yell to you, surprise, it's your birthday. It's a party in honor of you, to celebrate you. Now, I lied to you, but I was for your gain. Now, most people tell lies to protect themselves because they don't know how to tell the truth. Vast majority of lies, even white lies, the classic. You got a significant other and they put on an outfit and they say, does this make me look fat? You're going to lie to save yourself. You ain't lying to protect them. You're lying to protect yourself. So, what's the tool being used for? And again, I'm not an advocate of lying, but the point I'm trying to make is my communication is designed only for my benefit. That's manipulation. That's a bad thing. If it's for both our benefit and your benefiting, now we're talking about influence. Now I'm looking out for you.
Mm.
So it's all in what the tools are being used for.
Yeah. Which kind of comes back to that point you made, we talked about at the beginning, which is the long term relationship and the
Right.
collaboration. Revert back to the beginning on those ones. So in terms of lying, then how do you spot a liar or someone who's probably not being truthful? Are there? I guess that's something you probably have to pick up in these situations, or have had to pick up. Are there sort of clues that you can use to figure that out and know how to respond?
Yeah. Well, what are the tells, right? Everybody wants to know tells, like the poker term. What are the tells of lying? Well, here's how a polygraph works. A polygraph is a lie detection machine. What it really does is it lays down your baseline of truth telling. If you tell the truth, and you might not, but if you do, you tell the truth one way, or when you tell the truth, you tell it the same way every time. I can remember a long time ago, we're interviewing literally a terrorist who we'd arrested in a bombing plot. And we debriefed the guy for weeks. Now, he told us a whole bunch of stories a different way every time. Like, this dude is lying. And when we finally confronted him over it, there was one story that he told us every time. He said, he's referred to some other guys. He happened to be in Jersey, the other terrorist cell in Brooklyn. He asked an intermediary about the guys in Brooklyn, and the intermediary said, okay, well, you could talk to him. He said, but don't give him your neck. And every time he told us that story, he told it exactly like that. Plus, he made the same movement. He told the truth the same way every time. Now, you might lie 7 different ways, but when you tell the truth, you tell it one way. So, first of all, when you're interacting with someone, small talk, like, hey, how was traffic today? Where'd you come in from? What'd you have for breakfast? Small talk, if you're paying attention, is how you lay down whether or not they're telling you the truth. They say, yeah, traffic wasn't too bad. They talk about traffic. They talk about breakfast. They talk about where they're from the same way every time. Now you got a baseline of truth telling. When they lie, it could be one of 7 ways. They could look down. They could look up. They could hold their breath. They could say, well, to be honest, whatever their variety of tells, all you know is that they came out of their one way of truth telling. Your gut instinct will start to pick this up. Gut instinct is actually a supercomputer. You feel alarm bells going off on the other side. Ask yourself what's causing those to go off. You're probably picking up deception from the other side. You don't confront them on it. You just now realize that you've made yourself smarter. You understand who you're really talking to.